welcome to Spines and Covers. Today I'm joined by Little Squidge.
Hi!
Today I have a giant book haul for you guys. And when I say giant, I mean so big that there is over 20 and they are currently in 3 massive stacks just over here. The reason why I am not where I usually am, as in over by my bookcase, is because we are currently having our entire house decorated. Which means I have a lot more room for books because I'm getting new bookshelves, so I went out and bought new books to fill them with. I think I got too many. You nodded in the back, Thor! Okay, so I'm going to get straight into it. I'm sorry if there isn't too much of a chatter or a synopsis with all these books, but there are so many that I just want to get through them. So the first book I have is Burned by PC and Kristen Cass. This is the 7th book in the House of Night series. If you have been on this channel for a while or you know me in real life, then you will know that I've been looking for this book forever. I finished Tempted, which is the 6th book in the series, mid-February, and I've been looking for this book ever since because I wanted to finish the series. I got it, and I'm really happy and excited to read it. Next, I have Skullduggery Pleasant. It's written by Derek Landy. I actually picked these up for my granddad because this is the kind of thing he's into, but then I read them and I decided that I wanted to read them. Now, unfortunately, I picked up book 4 and 5, Dark Days and Mortal Coil. So I went onto eBay and I ordered the first 3 in hardbacks and I can't wait for them to arrive. Also, these are first editions. That's kind of awesome. The next book I have is The Forbidden Queen by Anne O'Brien, or O'Brien, I don't know how you say it. It's basically about 14, 15 kings and queens and stuff, and it looks really cool. I love the Tudors and just the kings and queens of England, so I figured I'd give this a read. The cover looks amazing. It looks like it would be a really exciting book to read. And have you noticed I keep putting the books in front of Squidge because she's doing a tiny little jig behind me and it's really annoying. The next book is Triskelion by Will Peterson. It's basically an archaeological adventure with a supernatural plot twist, and I cannot wait to read this. This sounds like the perfect book for me. It's set in a quiet English village. I like books that are set in the UK. Next up, I got myself a copy of The Maze Runner. I've audiobooked the books before, but I wanted physical copies. This wasn't the cover I wanted, but it's the only one I can find, so we're just gonna get these copies. Why not? And this is written by James Dashner, in case you weren't aware. Next up, I can't believe I do not own this book. This is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I absolutely loved the Twilight sagas. I didn't really like the films, to be honest, but I liked the books, okay? I am a book kind of person, and it takes a lot for a film to be better than a book for me, or even to come close to as good as the books. I have actually watched the film of this, but I'm really excited to read the book. Everybody has read it and talked about it, and I feel like I'm the only person who's never read this book, and I feel like I'm missing out on something. Lighting changes. Does that look better? I look awful. My hair is wet. I just got out the shower.
You look fine.
Thanks, babe. I'm missing a book.
You're missing a book?
Or rather, I've lost a book.
You lost a book.
No, I haven't.
It's just hiding there.
The next book I have is called Wolf in Shadow by David Gamal. My dad actually told me to read this because apparently he's read it and it's good. It's basically 300 years since the world turned upside down and there was this massive war or something. I'm not too sure what it's about, but if my dad says it's a good book, then I think I should read it. The Lord of the Pit and his hellborn army seek to plunge mankind into a new satanic era. Okay, that sounds fantastic. I'm definitely going to enjoy this book. I like things like that. A John Shano novel. The next book I have is Travelling to Infinity by Jane Hawking, and it is the true story behind the film The Theory of Everything. I absolutely love the film. I love Stephen Hawking. I love all of his work, and I have read pretty much all of his papers. I don't understand some bits, but I have read them. I love him. I think he's an incredible man. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, picking that up, reading that. Oh, I'm so excited to read this. At the end of the film, when it said that she actually had written a book, basically like the film was, I was like, okay, if I find that book, I'm gonna read it. And it took me a while, but I found the book, and now I'm gonna read it, and I'm super excited about this. The next books I have are by the same author, but they are both standalones. The first one is Chasing Daisy, and the second one is Lucy in the Sky. They are both written by Paige Toon, who is a fantastic author that my nan actually introduced me to, and I don't like my nan, and I don't really like her literature choices. I figured I'd give them a go. So if you didn't know, I read 13 Weddings, which was actually her birthday present from me, but my mum wanted me to read it to see what all the fuss was about, and I liked her writing style. So when I saw these, I was like, I'll pick these up, and if they're naff, I'll give them to my nan. If not, I'll keep them on the shelves. My phone keeps beeping. That's really horrible. They're basically both, I think, contemporary romance crap. I don't know. I don't really read romance novels unless it's like a romantic plot, like subplot in a YA book, which, let's face it, all YA books have romantic plots. Proper lovey-dovey stuff, not really a fan of it, but I figured I'd give them a go. The next book I have is Not Your Ordinary Fairy Tale, which is written by Christine Warren, and this is basically about two realms, or more than two realms, but so far, as I gather, there are two realms. One is where all the fairies live, the other is where humans and the others, as in vampires, werewolves and things, live. I think the nephew of the fairy queen in the summer court has travelled from realm to realm and is now causing havoc in the human world. The others are not happy with him. So I'm really excited to read this. It's a tiny book. If you look at like the size of a normal book, it's very small. But I have read the first chapter and it seems pretty cool. It's basically a fantasy little thing, and I love fairies. I'm happy chappy. The next book is The Fifth Elephant by Terry Pratchett, which is, I think, supposed to be like the fifth element. I don't know. My dad picked this up for me and he said that I should read a Terry Pratchett novel because I've never read one before, and he is absolutely in love with Terry Pratchett. And I was like, okay, is there a lot of books there? And he was like, yeah, there's loads. And I said, just pick one that you'll think I like. And he picked this one because I love elephants. So I'm really excited to read this. Apparently it's supposed to be really funny and really stupid and random, and I like books like that. I'm gonna see how I get on with this one. Next, I have books 1 to 5 in the Wings of Fire set. There are 6 books, I think. The Lost Heir, The Dragon Prophecy, The Hidden Kingdom, The Dark Secret, and The Brightest Night. They're all based on dragons, and I'm loving dragon books at the moment, so I figured I would pick up all of the books that I could find that were there in the shop, so I could just read them all in one go and see what they're like, and I'm so excited. The only thing I will say is that I did not realise until I got home that the 5th book is actually a different cover and a different spine to the first 4, which kind of bugs me, but if I can find the 6th book that is the same, and at the same time I find the 5th book that is the same, then I'll just own 2 copies of this one, won't I? It's about dragons, and it's awesome, and oh my god, I am so excited. The next book I have is Blue Jeans by Val McDiarmid, by far one of my most favourite all-time authors. I love the books, they are absolutely fantastic, and I love the TV show Wire in the Blood, that entire series, and I have a few of her books. I currently have The Mermaid Singing, The Wire in the Blood, and Fever of the Bone. So when I saw this, I was like, snapping that up. This one actually matches 2 of my other covers, The Mermaid Singing and The Wire in the Blood. My Fever of the Bone one is a different cover and is a bigger book, but I don't mind. At least some of them match. It just makes it very hard to stick them on my shelves next to each other. But I'm really excited to read this. If you don't know what it is, it's basically like murders and stuff. Cold-blooded greed as she fights to save not only her livelihood but her life as well. I like it. The next book I have is Graceling by Kristen Kashaw, and I am sorry that I have never read these books before. I've heard everybody rave about them, but I've just never found a copy to pick it up, and I've never gone on a hunt to pick it up because there have been so many great books that I've been trying to read anyway. So when I finally found this, I was like, okay, fine, I will read it. I was actually looking for a hardback cover, but I couldn't find any, so I got the paperback, which is a huge book, by the way. It's the same size as my Magnus Chase hardback. It's not very heavy. I don't really want to tell you what happens in Graceling, because I figure everybody's read it, so we're just going to move on and accept the shame for the fact that I have never read that book. I am sorry, but I am trying to find the other 2. Is there just 2? I hope there's just 2. The next book I have is The Elves of Sintra, which is book 2 in the Genesis of Shannara. I've read the Shannara Chronicles, absolutely love them. These books are by Terry Brooks, and I love the original Shannara Chronicles, and I love the TV show, and so when I first read the first book in the Genesis of Shannara, I was like, great, this is fantastic, and I couldn't find the second book, but I found it, so I picked it up, and I'm so excited to read it. Wait, Vanessa Hudgens' boyfriend is in it, isn't he? I think so. Is his name Austin? I don't stalk her that much. Next, I have Dragon Shield by Charlie Fletcher, and I just posted a book review on this. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the first book in the Dragon Shield trilogy, and the 3rd one is out on April 7th, and I cannot wait to read it. I have not found the 2nd book yet, which is called something. The Pride of London. The London Pride? Something like that. And the 3rd book is called Golden Sword. This is a fantastic book. It's about dragons. I love dragons. Oh my god. I'm so excited. This was a fantastic read, and definitely go watch my review. I will leave the top link in the description, or you can just search on my channel. There are many videos to look through. The next books I have are by the same author, and they are part of the same series. And these are Shiver and Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. I have not read these. Started to audiobook Shiver and I got like 3 chapters in and got distracted by another book. So I never actually read them. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, I've heard that people say that this is basically just Twilight with wolves. I don't know really how I'm gonna get on with this. I like wolves. I think they'll be good. I don't know. I'm not a fan of these covers. Can I just say that the American covers are so much better. And the last book I have, again, feeling a lot of shame right now because I have not read this book, is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I've never actually read a Rainbow Rowell book. So I picked up Eleanor and Park because everybody raved about this book and still raves about this book. I did actually find this in a bookshop where it was like one of those like, you know, the old-fashioned kind of bookshops and not like Waterstones and WH Smith's. And it was $5.99 instead of the $7.99 you're supposed to pay for the paperback. I was actually going into Waterstones to get this next weekend in the hardback cover, but my mum was like, it's $5.99, just get the paperback. And I was like, no, I want the hardback. And she was like, but it's more money, get the paperback and I'll buy it for you. And I was like, okay. So I now have Eleanor and Park, and I'm going to start reading this tonight if Amelia goes to sleep quick enough. That is it, that's all the books I bought. I would try and stack them, but I don't think this is going to go well. Should we try this? Should we try and do one of these book stacky things? Amelia?
Yeah?
I love you.
He.
This is going to fail, okay? That's why I'm saying that. Ah! I dropped them already and I haven't even picked them up yet. Should we just pile them behind me because I feel like I'm going to be able to pick these up. Okay, let's pile them. Shift back, shift back, shift back.
Wait, back.
Yeah, keep going.
I think I'll do soft bit. No, this soft bit.
Oh, that was sensible. I'd have the 2 big ones to last. Ta-da! That's a lot of books. That's the most books I've ever bought in one go. I'm proud of this. So that is it for this week's video. If you liked it, did you push them?
No!
Ow, my arm! If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more book madness, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. Bye!
Bye!
Ow! That really hurt. I've got a red mark from Graceling beating me up because I've never read it before, isn't it? It's revenge. Ow.